Assalamualaikum and welcome to another episode of Zealfit TV. My name is Azmir and this is a very sad episode. The reason is on 18th of December, this whole showroom was flooded. As some of you might know, on the 18th or maybe on the 17th, it started to rain and non-stop. So by the night, or at least from what I heard, on the night of the 18th and in the morning of the 19th, this whole area was flooded. If you remember, in my Project Zealfit 2.0 episode that I did, I mentioned about my concern about the river right next to our showroom. So I signed a lease. I actually asked the landlord whether or not this whole area has been flooded before, and he said that over the last 15-20 years it's never been flooded at all. So that eased my concern at that time, but unfortunately it is the will of God, and Alhamdulillah, this place was flooded right when I was on my way for my vacation. So as I mentioned, it happened on the 18th. The river's water level was increasing, and I kept monitoring the showroom through my CCTV, and before I boarded my flight, I saw that the drain actually had overflowed for a while, but I had no concern about the whole place being flooded. So as I got off the plane, I went to the east coast of Malaysia. I couldn't access the CCTV anymore, and at that time it was about probably 9ish, and I had no visibility of the showroom at all. So on the morning of the 19th, I rang up my friend to ask him to check out the place, because that particular morning I actually saw a tweet from someone who lives in this area, and she had a picture of USJ 1, which is where we're located at, and it was flooded. So I looked at the picture. It didn't seem familiar at first, but then I recognized the rooftop, and the rooftop looks like the ones that we have right here. And that's when I immediately called my friend and asked him to check it out. And when he arrived here, he was like, "Oh man, Azmi, it's bad. It's really bad." And at that time, the water had receded, but you can see that there's some water on all the platforms, the artificial grass. Another friend of mine, Alam, he came in and he did a little bit of cleaning up, but after looking at this place, by the way, today is a Friday, and this is my first time here since the flood, and I'm lost. I feel lost. It's like there's a lot of work that needs to be done, not just the cleaning up, but I need to make sure that my inventory are all accounted for, that nothing is damaged, the showroom equipment is not damaged, because there's a lot of cleaning. The mud has kicked in, and that will make it a lot more difficult to wash out. Some of the rubber tiles, some of them have been already cleaned, but we still have to dry them out. If you can see here, this is a Vornado fan, my favorite fan in the world. This cost like 1,000 ringgit something, and that's already broken. My printer, according to my friend, is also gone. My credit card machine looks like it's gone because I cannot turn it on. My files, my files with all the receipts, they're gone. My tools, which was in the locker at the bottom part, I'm not too sure whether they're working. I haven't looked at it yet. A lot of the equipment has mud on it, and I can see some rust. My Evos, you can see signs of rust where the bearing is. Not too sure how to clean all those up, especially the barbells. I really don't know where to start, but Alhamdulillah, this is a test from Allah, and as a Muslim, I believe that whatever is not meant for me is never meant for me, and I'm just hoping that, usually what we believe in is that if we are patient and we seek help from him, that he will give us something much better, and that gives me hope. But there is a ton of work to do, and I'm not too sure how long this cleaning process is going to go on, because the equipment are so heavy to move around, to clean. Once you clean them up, you need to dry them out, and it's not a one man's job. I've got my 2 daughters here to help me out, just to do whatever we can to begin the healing process. In any case, we'll be shutting down the showroom indefinitely, and I will be shutting down the website because I'm unsure what stocks are still not damaged. So I think it's best for me to just bring down the website for the time being, and I hope that we can clean this up within 1 or 2 weeks, and then resume business as usual, inshallah. Okay, so here's what I think happened that night. As I mentioned, I was looking at the CCTV cameras. So I boarded my flight at about 7:55, and that was the last time that I actually looked at the CCTV. And at that time, the water from the drain was just about, it's just overflowing, but it wasn't that bad. The whole place wasn't even flooded yet. But so when I landed, the CCTV was out already, so I couldn't see anything. So once alarm came here and turned on the electricity again, I got access to the CCTV, and what I saw was that at 9 o'clock p.m. this whole place went dark. But before that, around 8:20, 8:30, I can see that the water was starting to rise from the drainage outside, and that's when my garbage bin fell down and went away. But that was all that I could see. From the inside, what I could see is that I can see water start flowing in, and that's about probably 8:30 to 8:40, and then it just started to fill up the storage area. I couldn't see anything from the front. So what I think happened was that because the water level of the river was so high, anything that's coming from the drainage into the river was blocked, and eventually the water just kicked back, and that's when you see the drain behind the showroom actually overflowed into the storage area. But we also have I don't know what it's called, it's a drainage system inside the showroom, and I think that overflowed first into the whole warehouse storage area, and that's when the water seeped into this area, as I mentioned earlier. But what I didn't manage to see from the CCTV is the actual flood itself. And I spoke to my neighbor just now when I came in, and they said that the river actually burst its banks, and that's when it reached probably, I would assume, maybe knee height or maybe as high as my thighs. By 7 o'clock in the morning, they said that the water had receded, and that's when we are all accounting for the damage. If you can see the rubbish on the trees, that's how high the water got during the flood. So what I've done for today is to actually bring out some of the rubber mats out, the SVR foam, which stinks, by the way. Okay, today is Sunday, 26th of December, and I sent out an SOS on Friday, asking people asking for help to clean up this place. Obviously, I can't do it alone. There's a lot of heavy equipment that needs to be moved around and then cleaned, and obviously we need to clean the floors as well. So a bunch of people have already responded, Alhamdulillah, and I'm very thankful to them. Right now it's about 7:30 in the morning, so we're going to start early and hopefully we can end early. I'm not too sure how long it will take. I think the biggest problem is to get all the big equipments out and then wash them off, and then clean the floors and then bring the equipments back in. I have half a mind of changing the layout a little bit because of this flood. They say that this flood only happens, first of all, it never happens in this area. Second of all, I need to be ready because I'll be here for the next 3 years. Even though they said that the flood is probably an event which happens once every 20-25 years or whatever it is. But I just don't want to take my chances, so there is a possibility that I'll change the layout of the whole showroom warehouse. In any case, I'm going to get ready now. I'm going to bring whatever I can outside first before they come in. Once they come in, then inshallah, I'm just going to probably brief them on what we need to do, and then break them up into groups. Some will have to do the water, and some will have to push the water out, some will have to scrape the floor, some will have to clean the equipment, and I think and also move all the equipments outside for them to wash the equipment. Okay, so I'll try to document as much as I can so that you guys can learn from how to clean after a flood, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, we managed to clean this whole place. We've got help from a few friends. I cannot express how grateful I am to them for helping me out. It took us the whole day to move everything out and get them all cleaned, and then washing the whole place, and then moving all the equipment back in. And obviously I didn't want to rearrange the equipment as it were. I think I'm probably going to go in another direction. I'm probably going to turn this place into more of a warehouse more than it is a showroom. I feel blessed. Although there are some equipment that were damaged, but the most important thing is that business can continue. Nobody was hurt, and Alhamdulillah, I thank Allah for giving me this opportunity to still continue doing what I love. This is just another setback, and I'm sure I'm going to bounce back, inshallah. And words cannot express how grateful I am to the 7 guys that helped me today. I cannot imagine doing this by myself. It takes probably a bunch of people to just get this place cleaned up, and even still, there's still a lot of work to do, but I'm very touched that, that there are people out there who's willing to help. And funny thing enough, most of them are my customers and my brother's friends. So I'm really, really appreciative of what they've done. And I can only pray to Allah that He rewards them as only He can. And I pray that Allah make their life easy, because certainly they have made my life easy. Allahumma ameen. This is not bad at all. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a small test that God has placed in front of me, and I just cannot imagine those people who were affected by the flood, who got it worse than I did. I didn't lose a lot. I did not lose a lot at all. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that I have. And I just want to pick myself up and then move forward. Once again, I just want to say, to those 7 guys, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for today. Jazakallah khairan katsira. That's it for me. I'll see you guys hopefully in a happier Zealfit TV episode. Thanks for watching.